even take out a base, which is huge considering Morrow just was able to saturate his 5th base once again. He's running very low on that mineral income. He only has 2 bases effectively mining minerals right now, and the gas itself, he hasn't really taken it because...
Oh, this drop though.
Yeah.
Viking, I mean, this is a great composition. I mean, Christ just finding every little nook here, every little place he can drop, and he's just gonna get out again. He's just harassing, and look at this, he's getting 2 more bases. Christ's economy is just gonna skyrocket from here on out. Morrow right now is banking so much though. He needs to spend all this into the army. He needs to get a really good composition, and the thing is...
the sensor towers!
Oh wow,
the sensor tower has arrived.
The 3 rings, man.
Oh man. This
Covering
is like...
everything.
When you get annoyed, I love this. I think Morrow should have done this earlier, to be honest, because he has had such a hard time dealing with all these drops. But these sensor towers are so annoying for the buy-up player because it's so hard to get away with anything. And your Vikings can get in position to snipe those medivacs before they're able to unload. Which, I mean, if you lose like 2 or 3 medivacs of your army worth of units, when you're both getting very good income, which Morrow is finally securing some pretty good income. It gets so hard, and I mean, this drop is quite nice. He kills a siege tank for a few units, which is nice because he is ahead in income. Remember that he has more bases. But he needs to be careful right now, because these sensor towers are so efficient. Still no siege tank is able to protect this right-hand nook side of this 4th base for Morrow, and once again a drop on top of it, he's gonna be able to kill a few more enemies and even take this gas out, which is more annoying than you might think, considering how gas-starved Morrow is gonna be as soon as he replenishes that supply.
Yeah, absolutely, but look at this. I mean, Kaz right now at 200 supply, you have 156 for Morrow.
Yeah.
Kras just expanding all over the map, he has drops everywhere, and Morrow, to be honest, like, as an honest question right now, although you might have a slight bias, I have to say, but, I mean, still, as an honest question, what is Morrow doing right now except surviving?
That's the thing, right? He isn't doing much except surviving, and Kras, I mean, I'm biased, I'm not gonna say anything else, I want Morrow to win. But Kras, I mean, he's doing this so well. It's insane how well he's doing this. He knows that his product is forced to survive. So beyond just killing stuff, he's just expanding. He knows that Morrow, in the best case scenario for Morrow, he doesn't die in the next few minutes. And he's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna trade somewhat, okay, even if I don't, I'm just gonna take bases. What are you gonna do about it? You're just trying to keep, I mean, he's spending money. The money is able to protect by not dying. He's spending to rebuild what he loses when he's protecting them.
Exactly, that's the genius behind Kras's style here, because you might wonder, why is he just trading? He, you know, none is gonna win by that, but the thing is, Kras knows he has more bases, therefore, Morrow is going to mine dry. Look at this, Morrow right now has 2 bases, one is almost out, so he's going to be on 1 base mining, and look at this, he's already mined that base out soon enough, let's say a few minutes, maybe like 2 minutes something, you're not going to have a single base mining for Morrow. Yeah. He's going to be starved, and his back is not that big. If we see a few more trades here from Kras, that might just put Morrow slowly but surely behind. Now, you know, Morrow is doing some stuff. He's having a Banshee out on the map. He's being annoying, but Kras killed an entire command center earlier on. He's been killing workers. He's being annoying, and, you know, when Morrow leaves, he knows Kras is just going to base trade the crap out of him.
I mean, I feel like Morrow's only choice at this point, he has to base trade. I mean, that's the correct decision. Even though we make it sound like, oh, there's, like, he will just deal with it so easily and go base trade. But that's what Morrow has to do, because he's so far down on economy. And eventually the air switch will come from Kras, and there's no way Morrow is going to be able to keep trading once the opponent has all of them gases on the whole map. So Morrow's going to be able to be forced to actually base trade. And whilst that thing happens, I feel the only chance of Morrow winning is if he's able to protect his main base with a few siege tanks and a few ravens, and then take out all the production and then kill the rest of the bases before the production is able to be rebuilt.
Do you see the command centers right now on the minimap? He's taken literally every base but one that Morrow doesn't already have, and that's because there was a Banshee interrupting it. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, Kras has virtually taken every base on the map, saying that Morrow, until you base trade me, I am going to mine dry every single mineral, and you will only keep losing units. And I think Morrow's just going to go for it here. Yeah,
I mean, even if you look at the minerals, you see that Morrow has more money.
Oh, here we go,
It doesn't really matter. Oh my god.
Here we go.
The army from Kras is so spread out. I mean, he has one on his main backside, and he has one on the right side, and one on the left bottom side. And actually, the Hunter Seeker Missile barely gets away from it. So Morrow, I feel like he kind of I don't think he's gonna move in too far. I feel like he's just gonna try to establish a position. But even if he does, oh, I love how he's being defensive though. He has all the units he needs. He has a bunch of helmets, a few siege, and these Predators are proving so efficient, especially since they're buying so much time for his rest of his army. But once again, once these buildings are dead, sure they're gonna protect him for like one attack or maybe 2 attacks. But what about the 3rd attack, and the 4th attack, and the 5th attack, and the 6th attack, and the 7th attack? Eventually, the protected buildings will be gone, and all that Moro will have is the army. And that's what he's trying to prevent by trying to attack his board right now. So many point eagle throws, but that's a lot of energy on those ravens being wasted before when a fight isn't even happening.
Do you see Kras's bank?
Oh,
and
yeah.
supply?
Yeah, he's actually... Oh my god, you're correct! What am I talking... He's actually
He
a
just
very
spent everything on remaxing,
Oh.
and he ran into siege tanks. He's so gone at this point.
Oh my god, he tried to tech at the wrong timing.
Yes.
He put so much money into these command centers and didn't let them get the money he needed. He waited, like in one way he waited too long, and in another way he didn't wait long enough to tech into that air. And now he's in an awkward position where he's in the middle of 2 different techs. And GG, Moro wins it.
Missiles.
Oh my god, that was actually a very, very patiently and amazingly played out game by Moro.
Because
and that means property wins.
That was basically Moro just biding his time, waiting for he was waiting for one mistake, and then Kras just does it. He gets so many command centers, it depletes his entire bank, and he says, "I'm gonna go into Ravens as well." And then Moro pushes, and he's like, "Oh, but you can't push yet. You know,
Yeah.
I'm setting up the perfect end game."
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
So he's doing everything to force the base race, and when it happens, he just loses because there's a base race. And
I feel like Kras... I mean, I feel like he built all his command centers on new bases, which is good if you're given enough time. But he was constantly floating or building them on a different location. They were being cancelled sometimes and so on. That he never really had that many orbital commands. And I mean, like, in one way, his plan was to mine out, take into air, and have an army equal to Moro's while having more income. But even though he did really well, I feel like he ticked into air too early for doing what he did, where he took all those bases, because he spent so much minerals on that, like, he had enough gas for a few ravens, because you don't mine that much gas when you're going for bio, and all the minerals he was getting was being spent on more command centers. So, he had basically that one bio army, and even if you get in a position where you have more income than your mech opponent, if your bio army... If you can't replenish your bio army, there's no way you're gonna win, because the mech army is just way more efficient in straight up fights. And that was what Moro was able to do. He was being so persistent, so consistent with his defense, that eventually the resources didn't run out, but they just weren't able to be gathered quick enough to replenish the different trades he took.
Indeed. But to be honest, great series. I mean, we saw Property win 4-2-2.
4-3 actually. Or actually 4-2, you're correct.
Yes. For a total of 6 games. And to be honest, it has been a great pleasure. I think we're kind of rounding it off here, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen much more.
Exactly. So, you know, thank you for watching. Of course, I'm going to let Viking finish up, you know, his stream and everything. So I'm going to thank you, everyone, watching my first time casting on prOpTV. And it was a pleasure casting with you, Viking. Shouts to Property, shouts to NrS, shouts to viewers, shouts to Lynn handling everything. She's known as Yeonryu. I can never, you know, pronounce that stuff.
No one can. I don't know why she picked it. I'm gonna
exactly. It's like Zeweig as well. No one can ever.
I'm just gonna say wing casting. It's easier.
Exactly. So cheers, everyone. See you next time. I'm Zeweig and I'm out. Take care.
Thank you very much for casting with me, Zeweig. I'm actually very happy about it, because I thought I was gonna cast with Tenshi, who you might have heard of. He casted a lot of NrS before, and he's actually also very, very good. But Wiggy, Zeweig, I'm so freaking impressed. That was some of the... I've watched Poison TV before, but that was some of the easiest casting I've ever done. Because I felt like there was so much... Like, there was... He mantled so much of the actual pressure of doing the casting, which is... I mean, you should go follow him right now on Twitter, guys, because I believe he is actually one of the best casters in Sweden. Or at least, I would say he's one of the best community casters out there, so you should go follow him on Twitter, which is @VickyCasting. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter @PropVikingBB2. You can also follow Team Property @Team_Property. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can leave any feedback in the chat and I will read it. And with that being said, bye, guys. And hopefully I will see you back next time.